you have done mid-course correction. You've changed courses in the middle of the stream.
Sure.
And you've had your toe in many different waters in the music industry, from recording artist to label owner. I think I left out reality TV star from the music industry, but related. And now you have almost 250,000 people carrying what you had for breakfast on Twitter. What's the role of technology in your entrepreneurship right now?
Well, let's start with the last part first. I never approached Twitter from the aspect of them carrying what I'm having for breakfast. My approach was that as a content creator, if I'm able to reach an audience that is opting in, then at some point when it's time to market in or promote what I'm doing, it is better for me, and certainly a better value proposition, for me to be able to reach them directly than have to pay a radio station, a middleman, any of the middlemen, the 5 or 6, they come in the way every time an artist creates content and say, hey, I'm going to build a business around your, and by the way, your content, and they may not have to pay you, but maybe you'll pay me. So I looked at that. So I thought, wow, why not learn, and we're doing with Twitter right now, but why not learn to create or capitalize on these platforms as a creator of content and then build a business around it myself. So being an early adopter on Twitter, I looked at their platform and I said, of all the platforms right now, and I respect all of them, there's some great businesses, Twitter cut to the chase faster. It is the best of the real-time web that I saw. It was like immediate. So we might talk about what I'm having for breakfast for a while, but you can bet you're paying for lunch. So certainly, I don't even have the patience for trivial things too long. We'll talk small talk for a little while, but we'll get to some substance rather quickly because it's the nature of who I am. Most of the guys and ladies on the panel, I know Dorian. He started his company. He'll tell you, I found him in his garage. Is that not correct?
That's true story.
I found him in his garage. He's in a garage out here in Palo Alto, and he opens his door one day, and Harris standing there.
He said, "Are you Moses?"
These type of stories can be repeated throughout the valley concerning me and anybody having to do anything with rich media, i.e. YouTube. You go on YouTube and you'll look and you'll find a video of me at YouTube where they had 3 computers. And they're showing me around the place. Because I've always been interested in the next technology or the next platform that would shorten the distance between creation and consumer. And I didn't want to be left out of this great business that from an artist standpoint I love. I would make music for free forever. But the thought of continuing to facilitate other business models as the business of creation is deemed not monetizable. It's not monetizable, but we can build industries around it. It's not monetizable, but we can fund and invest in businesses around the content. Something wasn't right with that particular proposition for me. And so I said, I'm going to learn early on who's creating what and try to be an early adopter on these platforms. So that's how I ended up with 250,000 people knowing what I'm having for breakfast.
And do you, in the longer run, do you see that feeding into monetizing the music itself, the content itself, as being for sale, or do you expect to make your money more in other places going forward? Tell me a little bit about that.
So, all of the above, but in phases. The problem that we have right now is behavior. And once a behavior behavior is learned, it's hard to undo it. So you're not going to undo per se the behavior of a person just wanting a single. But remember, that behavior is only at best an 8-year to 10-year behavior. Most who are over 25 and 30 here grew up loving albums. They grew up with so there's another behavior that's locked away in the memory. I'm not saying that all of a sudden everybody's going to want an album. It's going to start over. But I will say that some bands and some artists are going to make great albums, and you're going to want the whole album. How that album is introduced to you to create demand for the whole album is where social media and all of these other platforms come into play. So to that extent, I think the music is monetizable going forward, and there's a way to reintroduce and relearn some old behaviors. Some old habits are not necessarily bad. So that album appetite is